We see logos every day. Some are good and some are not so good. And that determines whether we buy the product or not. That's why it is crucial to have a successful logo, because it could either make or break a company. That's why in today's video, I'll be showing you guys how to make a successful logo and taking you on the process of how to design one on Adobe Illustrator. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Hey guys, it's Edgar with EMD Productions, and today's video is about design, but we also do fashion, fitness, and comedy. So if you guys are new to this channel, make sure you guys subscribe. On with the video. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is research. Research is the most important thing in designing. You can't know what you're designing if you don't know any information. So what you want to do is know the name of the company, because if you don't know the name of the company, then you can't really work with anything. Then you're going to want to know what the company represents, what colors, fonts, and you got to know who your target audience is. In my local area, there's a competition to redo a logo design. So I'm going to go ahead and use that in my favor right now. So I'm going to recreate that logo. What I would do is I would go onto Google and research more about the topics. But since I already did that, we're just going to go ahead and skip it. But another thing that I would recommend doing is going onto Pinterest. Just because Pinterest has the good instead of Google, where it has the good, the bad, and the ugly. You can get a lot of ideas and get inspired by other people and what they're doing. So it's just a good thing to do. After you get your research done, the next step is to sketch. Sketching is going to help your clients understand what you're creating. You guys can come up with ideas, they can tell you what ideas they like and what they don't like, and it's going to help you a lot instead of going and designing something and then turning it down when you spent so many hours working on it. So it's best to have options as well. After you and your client have talked it over and you guys decide on what idea you guys want to go with, you're going to want to take it into Adobe Illustrator. Okay, now that we're in Adobe Illustrator, we're going to go File, New, and we're going to do 250 by 250 px. And we can just leave it at one artboard, leave it at CMYK, and we're going to hit Create. Okay, now we have a blank artboard. And I have another artboard that has a scan file that I had created before. This is one of my sketches, and all I have to do is trace it. So I'm going to use the pen tool and just go ahead and trace all these things. Okay, now that I'm done tracing the hand, I'm going to go ahead and put this into the artboard that we're going to be creating the logo in. So right now I'm going to tell you guys what I'm doing. I'm recreating a logo for a local business that is having a competition to see who can make the best logo design. The winner will get a prize, so I'm going to use them as an example in this video. They need the logo redone, so I went ahead and researched and found out that they focus on astrology and psychic elements as well as the elements of earth. So in this design, I'm going to use the 4 elements of earth, which are fire, water, earth, and air. So I'm going to put them into circles as the hand will look like it's holding them in the midair. Okay, so the tools that we're going to use are mainly going to be the selection tool, the pen tool, the type tool, and the circle tool. I'm going to go ahead and make a circle. Hold shift to make it equally. And I'm going to hold option and Mac. And I'm going to duplicate it 3 more times. Because each one is going to represent an element of earth. I'm going to go ahead and select all of these and align them. This up here is the align tools. You can align horizontally left, but we're going to go ahead and align them horizontally, distribute left. There we go. Now that equally separates them. Now I'm going to go ahead and make the icons for each one of them. The first one I'm going to do is fire. So I'm going to use the pen tool to make all these icons. So I'm going to go ahead and make the fire one right now. I'll show you guys what the end product looks like. Okay, now that I finished making the icons, we're going to go ahead and hit the type tool. And we're going to type in elements, and I already pre-selected a type that I wanted, which is in Hala. And I'm going to go and select all of it and mess around over here with the character panel. We're going to go ahead and mess with the tracking. I'm going to go about 125, and we're going to bump up the size. I'm going to hit the select tool and see what it all looks like. And there we go. We now have a black and white logo. The next thing I would suggest is going into Adobe Color and looking up a scheme. So we're going to go ahead and look up Adobe color. Okay, here it is. And over here, the neat thing about Adobe Color is if you sign in with your Adobe account, you can actually select the theme and it will go automatically to your Illustrator or any Adobe Cloud, and you can just go over here in the libraries and your colors will be here. Any theme that you choose, graphics, colors, you can use here. So I'm gonna go ahead and look for a color scheme and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I found a color scheme that I like. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on it, and I did not mean to download it, but we're gonna go ahead and save it. And we're gonna name it 4 Elements, and we're gonna save it under my library. Over here you can actually choose on what kind of library you want to save it. I'm just gonna save it to my regular library. Otherwise you can just create a new library. I'm gonna hit save, and we're gonna go back to Illustrator. So now over here we're just gonna go over to our Creative Cloud library, and our schemes are gonna be right here. So it's going to be an easy way to access them. So now we're going to go ahead and hit the direct select tool, click on this one, and we can just be able to click on that, and boom, changes the color. I'm going to go ahead and do it on all of them and show you guys what the end product looks like. Okay, now that I got them all colored in, I'm going to go ahead and mess more with elements. I'm going to hit the type tool and I'm going to click on the type, select it all the type. And I'm going to go ahead and mess around with more tracking. I'm going to go with 145. And we're going to also bump up the number. That seems about right. Okay, we're going to go ahead and center this. And in order to get this all centered, we're going to have to go and group this just because they have individual things inside of them. So we're going to group it all together. So we're going to hit Command G. Now it's grouped. Now we're going to go ahead and select the whole thing. In a shortcut way would be Command A. And now we're gonna go and hit the horizontal align tool, and that centers the whole thing. And there we go, guys. This is what the logo looks like now, but I'm not done yet. The next step is to revise. I need to show the client the design and get feedback. Once we made all the changes, we can finalize the logo. The final step is the presentation. This is where you show the client the logo and how the logo will look like in different medias. Here I have it mocked up on the sign. So let's recap on what the process of designing a logo. The first step is research. Finding out the demographics, who your target audience is, fonts, colors, and any other information you need to start designing. The next step is sketch. You have to show your clients what kind of ideas you have in order to start designing. The next step is actually start designing. After you created a design, you have to get it revised by the client. They will give you some feedback onto what you need to change or any tweaks that you have to do. And the final step is presentation. You have to mock it up so the client can see in what other kind of media this logo would look like. And there you go. Those are the steps of designing a logo. Alright guys, so the logo is completed and hopefully this logo wins me the prize. I don't know yet, I still have to submit it. But anyways, this concludes the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Now that you know what the process is to make a logo, you guys will go out there and make your own logos for your own company, for freelance, or just even make a logo for a friend or family. I hope you guys use this step by step so you guys can execute and make a successful design. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment down below what kind of video you guys want to see next. If it's another design video, fitness, fashion, or another comedy, make sure you guys comment down below. Let me know what you guys want to see. See you then.